Welcome to the Highly Effective Man podcast, hosted by former Navy SEAL turned life and fitness coach. I'm your host, JP Bolwan. This podcast is your resource for unlocking the healthiest, most productive, and highly effective man within you. Let's go. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Highly Effective Man podcast. I'm your host, JP. Happy Father's Day to all the men out there that are listening to this. It's actually the day after Father's Day. And I just want to say, to all you guys out there that are, going through it, keep charging, right? Because I'm a father myself. I've got two little girls. And, there's many a times that I'm thinking about, am I doing a good job? Am I being a good husband? Am I being a good business owner? With all the stresses in life. And, originally this podcast was going to be about mentoring. And, I couldn't think of, a better example of a mentor than being a father, right? And so, being a father just kind of takes it to that next level. And so today's podcast is 5 things that I believe that we should be doing as men in our families to be a good father, right? And without getting too deep into it, right? This is something that's important, right? And it's something that for myself, I lost my dad at an early age. My dad had a brain aneurysm when I was 5 years old, and so a lot of what I learned about being a dad and I guess trying to be a good man was through through examples of what I didn't want to be when it comes to my stepfather. But then also I did learn some good things from him, like the value of hard work and that type of stuff. But some of the things that I did learn, or a lot of the stuff that I learned, was from other people's dads or other guys, like other friends' dads, and books, and other people that I've surrounded myself as I've grown and gotten older. So one of the things that I'm going to share with you guys today is that it's basically 5 things that I've put together that I feel are important to being a good father, right? And I just feel like this is a great time because we had Father's Day yesterday. And, maybe some of you, were thinking about Father's Day and wondering hey, am I doing everything I need to be doing, right? So the first step, I would say, or the first area that we need to focus on is, and this is not just I'm the expert. This is the stuff that is important to me and things that I'm working on as well. So the first part to this is being the example, right? Learning to work hard and be successful in our everyday lives, whether it's business, whatever, and doing it in a way where character is a priority, right? Because our kids don't learn by what we say. They learn by what they see us doing, by our actions. And, whether you know it or not, they're always watching, right? And another part of that is, having good character, but then also instilling values and having values, right? Making sure that you know what your values are and that you pass those values on to your kids. And that's a challenge, right? Because you could say integrity and honesty and all these other generic values are important to you, but then how do you pass that on to your kids? How do you show them that, right? And that's where the challenging part comes in, is trying to figure out these everyday situations and just taking that moment to explain to our kids why that's important, right? Number 2 is be available. One of the reasons this podcast is going out today and actually Monday morning and not recorded on Sunday is because I was going to sit down and record last night, or yesterday during the day. But that meant I needed some time to have quiet time. And, with two young girls that are just full of energy, like that quiet time is not going to happen. Right. So I was going to have to take my daughters over to my in-laws. But then, I was thinking it's Father's Day and I'm like, why would I want to be away from my daughters on Father's Day? Right. So instead I took them to the pool. We had a great time, that type of stuff. And we just created more memories. Right. And I think, you know, whether they'll remember it or not, right? Like those experiences, like them having fun at the pool, they might remember some of those, but I just wanted to make sure that I was available and spending time with my girls. I just spent a couple weeks away, and for the last 2 days, I've just been spending all my time with them, basically, and just trying to be as available as possible as the dad, as their dad. Okay, and I think that goes a long way because I I can think of like when I was a kid, and my dad passed away, but there have been many a times when I was young when I was just wishing that my dad was around, and I think those experiences make me want to be around for my kids more often. Okay. Number 3 is find other men or other dads, other fathers that have similar challenges, right? And it's crazy because, I have 2 girls, and because of that, it seems like I know a lot of men with 2 girls. I don't know if it's something that we somehow attract each other subconsciously or what, but I can't tell you how many men I know that have 2 girls, and we end up having our daughters play together and that type of stuff. But it doesn't matter if they're 2 girls, 2 boys, whatever it is. Like if they're kids around the same ages, like you're gonna know some of the challenges that those men are going through, and they're gonna know some of the challenges that you are going through. And when you surround yourself with good men, or what you believe to be good men, then you can, it's easier to work through things, and you can also build that camaraderie with some people. And just this weekend, I was talking with a friend that I admire a lot, and we were talking about, man, we need to get together, get the girls together, and do these things and have fun. And it's a relationship that I really appreciate, and I think that when we surround ourselves with other men that have similar values, similar character, good character, and that we think would be good people to be around, I think that's very powerful, right? And then number 4 is taking that to the next level and seek advice from maybe older fathers, right? So people that are, maybe 20 years ahead of you, that have grown children and have brought up children that are successful and have good values and good character, right? Because there's something that they did right there, and I think it's important to learn from them. And I can think of, a specific example is my weightlifting coach, right? He has 4 kids. All of them are great kids. And, there's been many a times that I asked him for advice, or, just not even asking for advice, but just seeing how he operates, and wanting to emulate a lot of what he does, with my kids and just with my own life. Right. And so I think it's important to have wiser people that have been down that path, and that can kind of, show you or tell you what to expect, or you can see what to expect, right? There's that Chinese proverb that says, like, to know the road ahead, ask those that are coming back, right? And that's like, that makes total sense, right? Because, you could try and figure it out on your own and do it all on your own, but why not ask somebody who's already been down that road and can help you avoid some of those pitfalls? And then step 5, or number 5, I feel weird calling it a step because there's no steps to fatherhood, but like the fifth thing to think about is to show love and affection. And that's coming from, a 13-year Navy SEAL that played rugby and football and, is that works out a lot, right? And sometimes my wife refers to me as at times I could be manly gross, right? But like, yeah, as men, we have to be able to show love and affection towards our kids. I think it's probably one of the most powerful things that we can do, not only for ourselves, but especially for our kids. We can't always be the disciplinarian. We can't always be the guy that's like laying down the law, the hammer, and all that. But I mean, you have to do all those things. But more importantly, is doing it in a manner where there is love and affection in the home, right? Because our kids need to know that they are loved. They need to feel that affection. And I think when we do that, now we are creating a bond where they trust us, they love us, and they can come to us whenever they have a problem. And that's my biggest fear is that, my daughters, they grow up and they feel like they can't come to me with anything. And I want to make sure that if they ever have any issues or if they ever have any problems, that they know that no matter what, I'm going to love them through it and I'm going to help them through it. And so those are just 5 things that I was thinking about, especially with it being Father's Day. And, I can't think of, anything better to talk about on Father's Day, right? So all of you guys that are out there, and you got kids, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. And as always, if you're looking to, take it to that next level, I've got my courses, you've got this podcast, subscribe, and keep listening. All right. But I thank you guys for listening. And for all you dads out there, keep charging. Let's go. Thank you for listening to the Highly Effective Man podcast. If you enjoyed or learned something on this episode, do me a favor and share this with somebody who you think needs to hear it. And one last thing, if you want to work with me as your coach to help you get fit, be more productive, and in general, just be the most effective version of yourself, head over to my site, higherlevelcoaching.co. Once again, that's higherlevelcoaching.co, and schedule a call with me there. Thank you again. Let's go.